Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Dimes on Duval. Alongside Skylar Chase and Mike Yashi, I'm Keith Manzi, live here at the Coastal Indoor Golf Studios. Guys, we have been, how do I word this? Absent is just the easiest way to say it. We've been absent for quite a while now. It's good to be back in the studio with both of you guys. Skylar's rocking the nice little sweater.
Yeah,
Mike's got a polo. I've got my Montreal Expos shirt on.
We are all in blue.
We're all wearing blue. Yeah, some variation of blue, you know.
It's like the frost. We're the frost of the evening.
Yeah, beautiful sunset tonight. Skylar sent that on his way over, but...
Oh, I didn't send the sunset. That was all God's doing.
Hey, you know what? Without him, we wouldn't have a sunset. So you're right. I saw you got the stadium in there too. That was a nice.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's one of my favorite parts to see when I'm coming downtown. The sun. That's the first time I've seen the sunset like so perfectly over the river while going over the bridge. At least that bridge. I think maybe going over the Acosta Bridge, I've seen it like that. But that's just seeing that Clemson orange sunset over that beautiful Duval County. I only say that because of Trevor Lawrence, obviously.
You had to bring up Clemson?
I had to bring up Trevor Lawrence. So
no comment. He'll be in black and teal very soon.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's like two worlds colliding. You got the teal,
When
water,
collide.
reflective, buildings.
What was that from? When worlds collide.
When worlds collide.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's a common expression, but
No, it was a song. It was like a robot. When worlds collide.
No more arigato,
No,
Mr.
I think it was like a
Roboto.
SpongeBob episode. I don't know. I can't remember, but we got a good show for you.
Ravioli, give me the formioli.
That is a classic episode. We could talk about SpongeBob another time, though.
That's on Keith's other podcast.
Yeah, I might make a SpongeBob podcast. I watched too much of it.
Bubble holes.
If anyone would listen to that, please let me know, and I will create that.
It's called Keith's Dolphin Chirp Podcast.
Oh, you mean
like? Yeah.
I used to be able to do that really well, but not anymore. But our show today is just gonna start off with a little Super Bowl talk. We'll get into we've got a nice Mike's Mad Minute, which we haven't had in a little while. Good to hear from that. I'm excited. The college football video game that's coming out by EA soon. We're excited to talk about that. And we have a little game that we're gonna play, and then wrap it all up with a local update. So,
is it Truth or Dare?
No, it's
the
not
bottle.
Truth or Dare. Not true. No. Maybe charades, but that would be bad radio. So I don't know about that.
Have our listeners try to guess what we're charading.
Right off the bat, Sunday is the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay, KC. Skylar, who you got?
Oh God.
Putting you on the spot.
All right. Well, I got both teams for two reasons.
Okay. No.
No, I mean it's more so like. I believe Kansas City's going to win. I'm rooting for Tampa because I want to see a home team win the Super Bowl. I think that's just such a cool thing. Unfortunately, it is Tom Brady doing it, which it's pretty unique to see. It's something that I don't know anyone could have guessed we would see in our lifetime. We could probably guess we would have seen a home team eventually. But led by Tom Brady, you would have been like, they're not going to have a Super Bowl in New England. And then you hear,
I never thought that would happen.
He's playing for Tampa Bay, and it's like, oh, all right, this is interesting.
That's fair. And it'd be the Tampa trifecta too.
Oh yeah, with the Lightning,
the Rays and the Lightning.
Rays lost theirs though, so at least
they all got to it.
They got the
that's pretty
pennants.
big.
They got the 3 pennants.
Yeah.
They got they're all champions of their league. So that is, it's not like a bad thing. It's pretty crazy. If I was a Tampa fan living in Tampa, I'd be like pretty stoked.
Absolutely.
With all the attendance jokes we get about Jaguars, I don't want to make any attendance jokes about Rays fans, but I bet all of them are happy. So.
Absolutely. Mike, what about you? What do you think?
I'm torn on the game. I can see both teams winning.
That's exactly what I said, and y'all guys flipped.
No, because I thought you were going a different way with it, but no, I honestly think the Chiefs will pull this game out. I think that they have the better offense. Patrick Mahomes is on another level right now. That offense is clicking on all cylinders with Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire maybe if he plays. Now, one thing I am a little worried about is the offensive line of Kansas City. So we'll see if they will be able to stay upright for Patrick Mahomes and company.
One thing I saw, so he's coming back from the concussion, but I also saw that he was playing with a broken toe or
turf toe.
Okay, so That's one thing I'm wondering. How do you feel like that affects the offense?
He had 2 weeks. He'll be fine. He did just fine 2 weeks ago against the who did they just play? Oh, against the Bills. He did just fine 2 weeks ago.
And how bad are you hoping it becomes Blaine Gabbert versus Chad Henne in the Super Bowl?
I pray to God that does not happen.
Well, it would be like 6-3. Like
it may be 3-0 in favor of the Chiefs because they've got a better offense.
There would be so many safeties because Ndamukong Suh would probably like wreck Henne a little bit, and then also Blaine Gabbert would just throw the ball backwards through the end zone.
I feel like if they were both playing quarterback, we'd have a scoregami for sure.
Yeah, that would be something that would be interesting.
I mean, hell, there may be a scoregami with this game with these two teams. So I don't know. I'm leaning Chiefs on this one, barring any late weekend COVID issues and or injuries that pop up on the injury report. But we'll see. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm hoping it's a high-scoring game because the last Super Bowl was entertaining. No, the Chiefs came back from they were down 10 with 6 to go in the Super Bowl, and they won by a touchdown. So I'm really thinking that I'm hoping it's a good game and a high-scoring one at that.
I did want to point out that several episodes ago, Mike did have a little Super Bowl prediction. He predicted the Steelers versus either the Saints or the Seahawks. He was
hold up
on that.
Don't come at me for that because each of those teams had an issue. Steelers, they were down 20-0 within the first 5 minutes against the Browns, which is inexcusable. The Saints,
the Browns are good. Oh wait, no, they were your frauds.
They're still my frauds. I still don't buy into the fact that they're good. Here's an early prediction for you: the Browns will make the playoffs next year. You can mark it down. I don't think they're making the playoffs next year. But as for the Saints one, Drew Brees just is old. And the Seahawks, that was just bad. So, I had no comment on that.
Well, Darius Williams obviously knows Russell Wilson pretty well.
Local Jack's kid.
He had 3 interceptions on Russell Wilson this season. So they studied the film. They played him pretty often.
Yeah, and when I saw the Seahawks were going to play the Rams, I was not excited about that matchup.
Yeah,
and as I see Keith ferociously writing down my bold prediction for next year.
You said the Browns going to the playoffs.
No, Browns are not making the playoffs.
Not making the playoffs? Okay, I mean, I can agree with that. I mean,
wow, screw you, Keith, commenting what my name is, Dumbass Mike. We'll see about that.
I mean, I'm a believer in the Browns, so I hope that they continue their success, and I'd like to see them in the playoffs again.
Now,
how do
you think they're going to continue it? Like, what makes you believe they're going to be?
Well, for starters, they'll have Odell Beckham Jr. again.
Yeah, but so they're still playing against Baltimore.
Hang on, we're not turning this into a Browns podcast. No, hell no.
Well, one thing, I mean, Big Ben is a big question mark for next year. The Steelers might take a step back.
The Browns are a big question mark for next year.
Yeah, but I mean, they have a lot. Like their quarterback is returning. They'll have their best receiver returning. Their running backs are good.
Do you know what's happening here in Jacksonville that's going to prevent other AFC teams?
I'm just saying that the Browns could easily be better than the Steelers.
I don't trust Baker Mayfield at all.
That's fair. He hasn't really given a lot to have people trust him.
See how he played in Jacksonville this past season? It was awful. They should have beat us by like 21 or so.
Easily.
Enough about the Browns. Like I'm done. We're back to the Super Bowl if we're gonna talk anymore.
All right. So
I didn't give my prediction.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go Chiefs straight up. Even though I'm also rooting for the Bucks just because they beat the Packers, and I feel like I have to root for the team that beat me.
How can y'all root for the Bucks? I do not want. No, I
don't like Tom Brady. I will never say I like Tom Brady. I don't want to see him win, but you know what? I'd like just to see.
I can't root
the team
for the
that
Bucks.
beat me.
I just can't because I hate Leonard. I don't like Leonard Fournette. I don't want him to win a ring. That's one.
Okay, well I get that, but he came to our situation, and it was just a bad situation for everyone. Despite him being who he is and how he behaves in some situations.
I wish everyone could see my face because that is just more excuses for Leonard Fournette and Jacksonville.
No, I don't like him. I mean, I don't like him either. But this is, I mean, the Buccaneers got to the Super Bowl the way they got to it with their defense and Tom Brady being smart. It has nothing to. I mean,
3 picks in NFC Championship's not smart.
They were already up big and such, and they know they could trust the defense. Not up big,
bro. They almost choked the lead away. I was really hoping they choked that lead.
And you would have too. I mean,
the Packers literally choked that game away. They had it in the bag because of the way Tom Brady played, but they didn't because they didn't capitalize.
I get and I get all the Jameis Winston memes with all that happened too. I'm more so saying they got to this point because he did play smarter in some situations. They're not going to get to a Super Bowl with a quarterback that doesn't know how to get to that level. It's clear that Tom Brady knows what he's doing to get to this game, and Bill Belichick tried to do it without him. Now, obviously, I think they're trying to get in a position to maybe do something different. The coaches are always thinking steps ahead. They're not thinking this season, that season. Like, where players are thinking this season. So Tom Brady, it's crazy just to see him pick a team knowing that they had the second best defense last year and they had all these weapons around him, and that he can get to the exact same point that he had been, half of his seasons in the league just about.
And you bring up the coaching with Belichick, comparing Belichick to Brady. I think Brady chose a better situation because he realized in New England there's not as much talent on at least the offensive side of the ball compared to New England. The thing is, that is why talent, in my opinion, will always and forever outweigh coaching in terms of what matters more. Yeah. Obviously, the quarterback is number one, and you've got to have talent around the quarterback. That, to me, matters just slightly more than coaching because Belichick had Cam Newton at quarterback, and they won 7 games with no talent on the offensive side.
One example, too, like right now, in the other team they're facing, Andy Reid's a great coach. And he wasn't able to win a Super Bowl until he got Pat Mahomes, a generational player. And then Pat Mahomes is surrounded by crazy freaks that just sprint at speeds that you probably wouldn't have thought possible at one point in time.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is scary fast.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree with the players showing that, like, it just shows more that this is a players' league. It's all about the players and all that, and how coaching is so overrated and not necessarily overrated, but overplayed. And
yeah, I would agree with that.
So,
well, okay, I'll leave you both with this question about the Super Bowl. Next year, 2022, we're sitting here on the 4th as we record. We're getting ready for the Super Bowl again. Who do you think's more likely to be there again, Tampa Bay or Kansas City?
That's going to be Kansas City probably, with Pat Mahomes still going to be there. Tom Brady is going to be a question mark again next year probably because of age, so...
Kansas City, and that's not even a question. I think Brady, if they do win, they retire. If the Bucs win, I think he retires after this year. There's no point in playing after you're the first quarterback ever to lead a team to a Super Bowl in your home stadium, and that may never happen again. What are you continuing for? Like, you've gotten so many rings at this point.
See, that's where he's going to say, Mike, I'm continuing just to keep going.
Yeah, he said, well, no matter what happens this season, he said he's going to play till he's 45.
Like,
he's
his mindset, his mindset is,
he's just gonna keep playing.
Why would he stop when he's on top? He's still still winning and such.
He's not Seinfeld.
Did Seinfeld make a reference to that?
Seinfeld was at the top of their game when they decided to end the show. It wasn't ended well, but they ended because they were like right on top, and it was like one of the few shows to actually do that.
Did Jerry do that on purpose?
Probably.
Anyway, I mean, I don't think Brady's going to retire, but I do think, to answer your question, the Chiefs are more likely. However, the NFC, I think, is a little bit more wide open.
Yeah, and that's probably why Tom went there. I could argue that maybe Aaron Rodgers leaves the conference.
He's not. I think they're staying in Green Bay.
Well, he's got one more season, but my point with that is that they've been in back-to-back NFC championships, and coming after this game, the reports were, is Jordan Love ready to start, as opposed to how do we get back to the NFC championship again and then get past that to get to the Super Bowl. As a quarterback, as Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback, I would be frustrated knowing that, you went to an NFC championship, and instead of drafting a piece in the first round to use in this next NFC championship, you drafted a quarterback that would get no playing time during the season. So it's basically a wasted first-round pick. And now, what are you going to do with it? You're going to start him over Aaron Rodgers, or are you going to trade him? That just, now to Aaron Rodgers, it just looks like more of a wasted pick. And he doesn't have many more years left. He needs a coach and a GM that's going to use the first-round pick to make sure Aaron Rodgers gets a ring, as opposed to have a backup ready and available to come after Aaron Rodgers leaves.
Well, do you forget that's exactly what they did with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre?
And that's probably, exactly why, Brett Favre was not happy either. And
exactly. I've watched several documentaries and things about that where Brett Favre heckled Aaron Rodgers. He hated Aaron Rodgers.
Three former Packers quarterbacks, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Mark Brunell, all with one Super Bowl ring.
That's very true. That's true. But I mean, like, he was pissed off, and rightfully so. He was like, I'm not at, they're trying to ship me out to the pasture, but I've still got a lot of years in me, and it was just like, why is this happening? And Aaron Rodgers was a cocky little SOB too, coming on the first day, says, "Morning, Grandpa," and that pissed Brett Favre off. So Brett Favre pranked him all the time, and it was just like a bad relationship. Towards the end, it got a little bit better when Favre knew he was leaving, and then when Favre did leave to go to the Jets, and then the Vikings. Eventually, they have a pretty good relationship now, but like at the time, you're right. No one wants to see their backup get drafted. It's like having a job and then they hire someone and you're going to train them and then they end up being your replacement.
And like I said,
That's
they were
terrible.
one game away from the Super Bowl, and they got to that same exact point, and they could have had one extra piece that they choked the game away. You said.
Oh yeah, they did.
So they could, if they had maybe one extra piece, that would have just been, something to help sure the game. That they're in the Super Bowl and it's Green Bay versus Kansas City, and
I think the biggest thing they missed out on was getting someone in the offseason, like getting some free agents that were better than what they got. I mean, the receiving core is still just a bunch of no-name people. I mean,
it's similar
Alan
to
Lazard. Remember, he was a Jaguars reject. Like,
yeah.
How? I mean, he's found a home there, but that's because Aaron Rodgers can do that to players.
And that's why Tom left New England as well, is because they kept putting these guys around Tom, knowing that he can, at least get his play to a point, like have the team played well enough to get to a next round of the playoffs or something. They knew they were going to win the AFC East. Even with the talent they had, they knew they were going to get to a certain point, and then it was just making things happen in the playoffs and getting to the Super Bowl. But that rubs Tom the wrong way, because he goes to a team with weapons, and he's in the Super Bowl again. It's like you could have just put weapons around Tom in New England, and maybe you would have had Tom still in New England.
Exactly. Well, we spent a little bit too much time on that. I mean, we kind of got off on a tangent.
We haven't been together in a while, so
yeah, it was nice to get some of that out there. But Mike, I know you've kind of had something welling up here. I think you said it has to do with the national media. Is this Mike's Mad Minute, or are we going to go longer than a minute? Because I can start the timer any second.
Well, it might go a little longer than a minute because it has to do. Because it has to deal with the national media and Jaguars, and also another thing what I discovered, not related to the Jaguars but related to food. That's a rant later, but
okay. Well, I'll go ahead and start the timer now, and we'll just I'll just keep a little track for you.
We'll go a minute on the Jaguars and just talk quickly about.
Bet. All right, and starting now, Mike's Mad
All
Minute.
right, so I'm kind of getting tired of seeing the national media try to come up with hypothetical trades where the Jaguars trade the number 1 overall pick for Deshaun Watson. Now, I get why the Jaguars should do it and why they could, but I honestly don't see any chance in hell. This is the 1 year in the Jaguars' 26, 27-year history that they've had the number 1 pick. This is their chance at a franchise quarterback. Now, I get Deshaun Watson's a franchise quarterback, blah, 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 cool. The one time the Jaguars have the number 1 pick, everyone wants the team not to have it anymore. Like, I'm seeing people such as Adam Schefter tweeting about it, saying, hey, is it crazy that the Jaguars could trade for the number 1 pick for Deshaun Watson for the rights of Trevor Lawrence? No, that's bullshit, in my opinion. Same with Dov Kleeman. I don't even know who this guy is. He is an independent reporter.
Sounds like a makeup person.
Huh?
Sounds like a makeup person.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a job. He works for himself.
1 minute, by the way. Keep going.
I don't
Keep
know.
going.
It's going over a minute. Going. Like, it's ridiculous that everyone is assuming. If it was any other team, they would never have traded the number 1 pick. But since it's the Jaguars in Jacksonville, they don't deserve to have the number 1 pick. Remember back when we locked in the number 1 pick, when everyone said that the Jets should have it, where the Jaguars should forfeit the pick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because of the tanking, or quote-unquote tanking.
Yeah, it was...
It was Chris Mortensen said that.
Chris Mortensen,
Jeremy Schaap. There are just so many ESPN reporters that said that the Jaguars should forfeit the number 1 pick.
They're just butthurt. We're not a big market for them.
It is time for the Jaguars to have a franchise quarterback, and they don't want to have the Jaguars. They don't want the Jaguars to have the number 1 pick and all these other picks to go with it. They want to give everything up to help other teams out, which is bullshit. I'm over it.
They saw how happy and arrogant we were in 2017, and they don't want to see that for 15 straight years.
Oh, just wait. If the Jaguars ever if they do become good again, and it's for
2
a long
minutes.
period of time. Oh, I don't care. It's going
I know. I'm doing your minute increments.
If they become good and dominant for more than a year, oh, God help Twitter, because Jaguar fans are going to go off on some people.
We almost fought the entire Seattle Seahawks.
Yep, in 2017. Yep.
That would have been awesome.
a
Screw
Seahawks
Seattle.
player went into the stands and almost fought a fan.
And that was like our first season of being good again. So I mean, and that was with Blake Bortles. We already pretty much like the season ticket reports have been really good. The stadium's expected to be packed. We're expected to have all these crazy Duval fans in the stands again. And if we get over 6 wins, we're gonna go crazy regardless. If we have over 10 wins, you better just be careful.
It won't happen this quickly, but
I mean, you never know. With Houston losing Deshaun, Indianapolis not knowing who their quarterback is going to be, Tennessee, they got the run game going, but the run game can just fade just as easily as it goes because, running and legs and injuries like that of that nature. Not wishing anything on Derrick Henry, but wear and tear is real. So it's something that it's almost like the doors are blowing wide open right as we get these top prospects and build a team.
I mean, we'll see. The AFC's got some young quarterbacks in the league, in the conference, so it's going to be a tough climb up, but hopefully it's a quick climb up.
Well, like Miley Cyrus says, it's the climb.
I don't know that reference. Anyway,
It's a song.
No, I don't pay attention to Miley Cyrus of all people.
It's from like high school, so
again, I don't care about Miley Cyrus. Anyway, to continue on another rant I had, Wingstop can go to hell.
Oh no!
Why Wingstop? What did Wingstop do to
They
you?
falsely advertised about delivery. Have you tried ordering delivery from them?
No, I always pick it up.
Okay, well, I tried to order delivery because I was like, I'm not really willing to order.
It's called Wingstop, not Wing Deliver to me.
Doesn't matter. Anyway.
Wait, don't you live like 2 minutes?
Yes, exactly. I
From
wasn't
Wingstop?
home at the time. Just
Oh,
relax.
okay,
Let
all
me
right.
explain.
I was about to trash him pretty bad there.
No. I tried to order Wingstop through the website.
What
and the
flavor?
app. I don't remember what flavors. Their delivery, it said that it was an error with my credit card, which is bullshit because I literally had...
Mike's got money, y'all.
No, it's a credit card, so it builds up debt. But they said incorrect billing zip code, which is bullshit. I'm so sick of Wingstop.
All right,
just
so
repeating the same thing over
We'll
and over.
test this out. Just tell everyone your zip code, your ZVP, your
See, I'm not doing
card
that.
number, expiration date. We'll
They
test
said it was
this.
an issue, so I called Wingstop. They said they only do delivery if you order through DoorDash. I'm like, okay, then why do you advertise delivery? They said, let me get you my manager. I'm like, okay. The manager didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So if you guys ever want to complain, get in contact with BBB because I followed BBB complaint with Wingstop, which BBB stands for the Better Business Bureau. Companies hate when you contact them because they have to do something about it. And I still am waiting a call on Wingstop. It's been 2 days. I should probably follow back up. But yeah, Wingstop delivery is a joke. It is not true.
Did you get your wings?
Yeah, I had to order through DoorDash,
Okay.
which is bullshit.
So
I find that to be kind of interesting because, like, say for Chick-fil-A with our delivery, again, not all stores do it, so people don't freak out, but my store does it. And if you order delivery and you are not within the range, it automatically takes you to DoorDash. So that's like a nice feature. But like DoorDash, when you did it on Wingstop, it didn't do that at all. It just kept you on the website.
Yeah, no, it kept me on the website and saying that there was an error with my credit card, and the manager accused me of me not updating my information with my credit card. I'm like, dude, I've lived here for 3 years. Come on. That is terrible customer service.
So I agree with you that it is terrible customer service. He could have handled that a lot better because that is the number one thing that goes wrong is that it sounds so stupid, but the amount of times I've had people call me and complain about things and it's like, well, it says your address is 123 Apple, but the Apple is spelled Appel instead of LE. And
I
like,
know.
oh, that's not where I live. Oh, that's my bad. And it's like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you're an idiot. But like, I understand he probably could have worded it a lot better for you.
But yeah, and the fact is, like I said, you know what? I'm just gonna call BBB or contact BBB.
Dang, man,
Wait
Mike
till-
went all in.
Trust me, I was heated with Wingstop because the fact that your delivery service is not working on your website or your app, and you have to go through DoorDash, or you have to pay an upcharge of like $10 just for food to come to you is bullshit. And DoorDash also is another headache sometimes.
I would agree with you. So you're getting your wings from somewhere else from now on then, right?
No, I'll still go through Wingstop, but this time I'm gonna pick up. I'm not gonna do delivery because
Yeah.
they should not advertise delivery in my opinion.
So
Their
I
wings
think-
are too good.
I think Wendy's does it like that too. They say now delivering, but it's only through DoorDash
Yeah,
too.
but they don't. And if you go on Wingstop's website, it does not say through DoorDash.
Yeah. So
It says delivery by Wingstop. So I thought that was bull. And I asked him, I was like, then why advertise it? He had no answer for me, and it doesn't say anything about DoorDash. Like Keith is checking me right now. If you go on Wingstop, it does not say delivery.
fact checking him.
It says order delivery.
Oh,
It does not
yeah.
say by DoorDash. It says by them. It doesn't even say by them. Actually, it doesn't even say by anyone. Anyway, but Wingstop, their wings are good. Don't get me wrong, but I was not happy the other day when I had to order with them.
I don't know if y'all have ever tried it or not, but if you go to Publix Deli, they have multiple sauces behind the counter that they don't advertise. One of which is a home sweet sriracha, and I'll get the naked wings, hot and spicy, toss in the home sweet sriracha, and they are very delicious. If you like home sweet sriracha,
I'll have to try that.
I definitely I've heard you say that before, and I really need to try that. But I am verifying. Yes, I put in Mike's address. It does say just delivery. It says delivery from Wingstop Jacksonville Southside Boulevard. It does not say DoorDash.
It doesn't say anything about DoorDash. Nope.
I'm scrolling.
Try ordering. It will not let you go.
I don't want to actually order.
It's not gonna go through, but you can try.
All in bundle. I'm still scared, dude. What if it does? You know what?
Just call and cancel.
I'll just do a small fry because that's not scary.
Here, Mike, plug your credit card information, and again, we'll have to test it with that just to make sure everything's clear.
Not happening. Anyways, but those are my two rants. One about the national media and the Jaguars, and Wingstop's delivery false advertising bullshit.
So what's the next topic's college football, right?
Yeah. Let's switch gears here. So college football, not NCAA football, as Mike corrected me on earlier. College football, the new EA game that is coming out. We don't really know much about it, but I know we're all excited, right?
So I guess with that important notice about it being college football versus NCAA. So obviously everyone's going through the lawsuits about this and that. Certain states have different rights for different athletes. So I guess with that goes along the lines of what teams will get and such. So does that diminish your excitement for it or what?
Honestly, there's just so much unknown about this game that we don't know what teams are going to be in it, who will be in it, when will it come out. All I know is that the only thing I've seen is it's 2 to 3 years from now, and even ESPN articles ask what will be in the game. Quote, that's still unclear. It's very early in the process. So we don't know how long it's going to take or what's going to come into it, but we'll see what happens. The NCAA currently does prohibit EA Sports from paying the players to use their names, image, and likeness, but chances are those rules are going to be no longer in effect once that comes around.
So I would presume with Madden doing some of the college teams in it, I would presume the teams that have been selected for that are teams that will probably be used.
Madden probably pays those colleges. I know Florida State is on there, Florida's on there, Texas, I believe USC.
And they're still going to pay the colleges when they're in the college football game.
Probably, but then again, if they're going to copy the players, they got to pay the players.
Well, I think that's what's going to be is they're going to have the schools and such. The schools they can copy, but the players they cannot copy the likeness of. So we're going to have a bunch of players or a bunch of schools that we know and love, but filled with a bunch of players with no names and nothing, just numbers.
We'll see. I mean, I'm very excited for it. I even tweeted the other day, I would definitely be planning on getting the new game system for that game because I was not planning on getting a game system at all. But if it's only released on those two systems, I plan on getting one. I just got a matter of finding one and saving money for it.
PS5 or Xbox?
Xbox for me.
Xbox for
yeah,
me
but
right now.
What I was going to say is, honestly, does it really matter if there's no names on there anyway? Because someone's going to create some sort of patch or something for it to have all the names
someone's
anyway.
Someone's going to update the rosters. Someone's going to have no life for probably a week and a half, 2 weeks to update all the rosters, and we're all going to love that person.
What's one thing you're hoping for? Because one thing that I would like is with the teams that they did miss and the former players, it would be really cool to see some of these teams that we did miss. So, like
the 2013 FSU team.
I mean, you could say them, I guess, but
I'm talking about like legendary teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what they do. I just want to see this is a big step for bringing it back. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I mean, but it's still far away. So they can, they're going to find some ways to clear out these details. Maybe we'll get more than what we're hoping for. Maybe we'll have less, but it will still be a different football game from Madden. And I always felt like the NCAA games were always a step ahead of Madden in some retrospect. Like I believe they had turf that was 3D before Madden did.
I think you're right there.
I believe they had like the Nike Vapor cleats and such before Madden did, and like the team logo gloves, and then just more customization and such. So
I think the big thing for me is just like the college game day experience. You know, when they have like Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, all of them just like at the table and just like goofing off, and you see Lee put on whatever headgear he's going to put on. That feel to me was just always the best part of the game, because Scott and I played multiple times, and we took some pretty crappy teams and built them up. I remember he took Buffalo and took them all the way. I took North Texas and took them all the way, because North Texas was the worst team in the game at the time. The Mean Green, baby. They were awesome. Whatever the last was, I think.
Or 14.
Or
14
13 or something. I can't remember
who was
which
on the
one we
cover.
had.
Do you remember?
I really don't remember. Actually, it was Kellen Moore, whatever, the Boise State guy.
Kellen Moore. You're
that
thinking,
was
you're
that long
thinking
ago?
Jared Zabransky. That's what you're thinking.
Jared Zabransky, that was his name.
Yeah, no.
God, yeah, we really had an old one then. Never
Yeah,
mind.
that's an older one. But no, one thing I do want to see, I really would like.
Scott, you can correct me. I'm probably wrong, but
one thing I really want to see with this game is they better let users, quote, drop the bag, transfer portal, everything, like in real college football, because that would be as realistic as it gets. Pay the players.
So it's interesting that you mentioned that. I mean, we won't talk about today, but I saw an article, and I'll try to share it on the page later after we record and such. But it's about how recruiting is viewed differently now because of the transfer portal. It's almost as if you don't have to go for some of these 5-star recruits in recruiting, because you can get someone in transfer portal that's ready to play, that has some experience and such. But so that will be, if that is in the new college football game, that will be an interesting way to see how players and users of the game kind of use the transfer portal to use their team. It'd be interesting to see if someone builds a team with only transfers.
I think that's near impossible.
It probably is, but I mean,
probably
figure it out.
As for the transfer portal, I think it's only going to be like, for example, this year, Florida. Just a little off topic. Florida State has built their team pretty much off some transfers for this upcoming year, because due to the pandemic, they couldn't do in-person recruiting.
Yeah.
And this whole recruiting class, not just for Florida State, but as a whole, a lot of these players that are picking their colleges for this upcoming year or next year or whatever, more than likely they're all going to transfer, because they did not expect it to be like this when they go into school for the first day, first year. But again, transfer portal may be different in 2 years. Who knows? Maybe we'll get back to normal where COVID is in the history books. But
do you think eventually we'll have? I mean, it's as close as it is to it right now. But do you think we'll have free agency in college football at some point?
I mean, that's
especially with like when they do get to a point where they pay players and such.
We'll see. I mean, that's way too early. I don't think it will happen. Not in the next 5-10 years. We'll see. But I mean, I'm just
prime time can pay some players down in Jackson State with his sponsorship money from Subway.
I think if we ever got to that point, it would just be not college football anymore. It'd be like a G League or something for college players.
And I think that's where some people are trying to go with it too. But
because I mean, you see, some of these NBA prospects for the draft are all G League guys. They play in the G League already, and it's that's cool.
Yeah, or else they just go to Europe too. Like was it Lonzo's the youngest one?
And it's like some of these guys are just go over. Or R.J. Hampton, he did that too. He was was he at Duke or something like that? I forget. Yeah, and then he transferred out there, and it's like
it's better to make euros than no euros.
Hey, better to make euros than nothing at all. So
euros still pay for stuff.
Yeah, but as of right now, we still have college sports. We still have college basketball, and that was the next topic I wanted to jump into. Want to do a little local update since we haven't done that in a little while. Going across the two teams here in Duval, JU and UNF, respectively. JU's currently, as at the time of recording, is 9-9, 3-5 in the A-Sun, and UNF is 7-11, 5-3 in the A-Sun. So JU is on a 5-game skid. They split the River City Rumble with UNF, and they lost that game, and then they lost 4 more right after that. So definitely not a great start to A-Sun play for them. I mean, obviously they beat up on the terrible Kennesaw State, but they're going to have to get some mojo back against Bellarmine coming up very soon, and then Lipscomb after that. But the Finns look like, the couple games that I've attended and worked and stuff, they look like a pretty cohesive team. It's just a lot of times it's just basic basketball where they either turn the ball over too much or they just can't score enough points. And I know that sounds really lame, but like you got to score more points sometimes, and they just haven't seemed to do that enough.
Do you think that's something that's inducive from the pandemic, from them not being able to be together, or like, are there any other teams in the ASUN that have been together longer? Like, how long have all these Finns players been together?
I really don't know it comparison to the other teams. But they did a lot of stuff via Zoom and stuff over the summer, and it's just I feel like that takes a toll on everybody at all. But I mean, Florida's different than say Alabama or Georgia and stuff like that, and the regulations. I'm not exactly sure how that was handled. JU's got Bellarmine coming up on the 5th, which is, well, when you're listening to this today at 7 p.m. And UNF's next game, provided any postponements for either of these games, will also be today as you're listening against Liberty.
Liberty.
Skylar, I told you the other day that is the worst jingle of all time, and I hate it so much. I actually found somebody.
You hated the commercials. You didn't say the jingle.
I hate the jingle. It's the worst jingle of all time.
Because the commercial that popped on, it was him and Dave. Is it Dave the Emu?
I don't even care. I don't care.
They were playing sand volleyball, beach volleyball, and they were just having like an 80s montage, and they didn't play the jingle in the commercial. They played the commercial, and you said, I hate these commercials.
Yeah, well, okay, I hate the jingle. It's literally worse. I actually found a Reddit forum where people were talking crap about it. That's how much I hate it.
I don't like the one where they're on like the boardwalk in front of the Statue of Liberty.
They're all bad, dude.
I like the one with the where he's like a big phone and he hops in the big bag of rice. That one's pretty funny.
I don't care. The jingle ruins it all for me.
And then I like when they get the key to the city and then he puts it on his key.
Gosh, I'm moving along here. More on the local updates. This one actually will include Mike because he actually went. Margaritaville Beach Hotel just opened in Jacksonville Beach. Mike, you said you went the other night?
Yes. What's today? Thursday. I went on Friday night. Yes. It was also really cold, so I didn't really stay there long. I went there with a few friends just to go out and drink and have some fun. Landshark Bar and Grill in Margaritaville is pretty cool. It's definitely a chill place.
How many margaritas did you have?
I didn't have any margaritas.
What?
I actually had a
Jefferson
Landshark. That's all I had. I drank one beer there. It was a pit stop. But the thing is with Landshark is definitely it's a 2-story bar. You can go upstairs or downstairs with the atmosphere. Thing is, since it was so cold, we didn't really stay outside, which I feel like if it was a normal day, outside would be a great place to be. But
it's going to be great for the summer, I'm sure.
Yes, I think so. It will be. Yeah, I agree with that. It's just a matter of time before the weather gets back to normal and not below freezing every night.
But yeah, I mean, I went to one Margaritaville in my life. It was in Grand Cayman.
And it's not like the Margaritaville like you're thinking of.
No, no. This the one I went to was literally just a bar. I don't think it had any rooms or anything. You go in downstairs was a souvenir shop. You go upstairs. There's a pool and a swimming. Obviously, it's a pool for swimming, but there's also a water slide that you use to slide into the pool to make fun splashes.
Gotcha.
And, but I was only about 14, 13 when I went, so I had a lemonade and some nachos. So it'll be interesting to try a margarita from Margaritaville.
Really good right now, actually.
I had some Chick-fil-A before I came here. Y'all saw me with the cup, so
yeah.
Spicy chicken sandwich.
I was about to say a bad word, but poo on Chick-fil-A.
Lies.
I will give a little shout out though. If you haven't tried the new spicy grilled chicken sandwich, if you do like spicy things, it's the spicy grilled deluxe. So it's just like regular spicy deluxe, but it's grilled chicken.
Can I get it without tomato?
Yeah, you can get it with no tomato. Yeah.
What else comes on it? Lettuce and cheese?
Lettuce, tomatoes. I think it's well, you can get whatever cheese you want: pepper jack, cheddar jack, or Colby Jack, or American. And it comes with cilantro or lime sauce on the side, which is really good. Really good.
We'll have to start a food podcast, too, with that SpongeBob one.
Also, Jacksonville is the only test market for the peppermint coffee tests. So we have peppermint hot coffee, peppermint iced coffee, and peppermint...
So they're testing it to be a permanent thing? Like, would they not have that during the winter time? Or
so technically this is winter.
Yeah, I get that, but
and I said the same thing. Yeah, it's not like winter time, like Christmas time, but they usually select random cities to test certain things. So
what's the end of winter time for Chick-fil-A? Like, is it Easter? Easter's like they go by religious days.
Probably the end of February, early March. Like that's usually when it ends. So then when you start your spring campaign.
So is it the test period's just for February, and then
Yeah, it ends at the end of February.
they'll decide to have it for next winter?
So there's a survey. If you get the drink, there's a survey that comes on the drink, and you can take that survey and tell people what you think. It's not conclusive that that's how it's going to be determined if it's a permanent menu item or not. Like they did the brownie test out in, I think, Denver or somewhere in Colorado, I want to say. But
I mean, Colorado is a great place to test a brownie.
yeah, exactly. But not that kind of brownie. But yeah, no. So it got tested out there and it got approved. So like we're still waiting to hear back from the spicy strips test.
Yeah.
We're still waiting to hear back on
Where
a
are they
couple other
testing
things.
those at?
I think that one's over. I think that one's out in
I was
Arizona.
gonna say, I can go to Wyoming if it's there.
Yeah, I would go anywhere for that. That sounds delicious, but
That'd be cool. It'd be really cool if you could Google where they're doing special promotions, and then like.
oh well, I could just find it.
I mean,
to
yeah,
let
you
know,
can
but
for Chick-fil-A, but imagine being able to pull up
yeah.
any restaurant. You could go want to find out where Taco Bell's doing their special, whatever they're doing.
Stay tuned. There's going to be a lemon something Caesar salad coming. I don't know. It sounds kind of weird, but
Is it gonna have chicken in it?
I didn't actually read it, but I just heard about it, so I have to do more research. Well, all right. Let's continue with a little more local stuff. Beach Bowl out there got
My neighbor.
Yeah, your neighbor got approved for a $7.5 million facelift, basically. So instead of just bowling, there's going to be an entertainment additions, in quotes.
Yeah, so it's
with
gonna
the
be a
rooftop
strip club
seating.
bowling alley.
No.
Well,
But they're really trying to make Jack's Beach a destination for everyone to enjoy all kinds of things. And I know you know that firsthand with Coastal.
a little bit, yeah. I mean, we were in talks about certain things with that building, and I think it's cool to see that Beach Bowl is going to get renovated. It's a fun place. It was a fun place to go when it was open. It was a little sketchy, but if you give it a makeover, you're going to have a fresh crowd of people coming in. There's tons of young people in Jacksonville that probably haven't experienced like Beach Bowl and like the beaches area the way that maybe us 26 and plus year olds experienced growing up.
Whoa, don't age us now.
Well, I mean, millennials, whatever, you put a name on it, I guess. But
True.
the idea now with like for us being right down the road is with that entertainment area you mentioned. I'm not sure what it means by that, but odds are it's going to be something fun. And with us down the road, we'll have some golf. We'll have multi-sports here in a little bit. We're picking up some new monitors that have more capabilities and that allow us to do a ton of more stuff. And
New monitors, meaning like
so, I mean,
what kind of other things can you do with them?
So we have the launch monitors that we currently have are TrackMan launch monitors, and they're 2 radars that just read all your club data and ball data. The new monitors we're getting are GC Hawks, and they are the same ones they have at the PGA Tour Superstore, but they don't use it as much as they're capable of using them for. So they sit over your head, they read your full body, so it can read throwing motions, kicking motions, pretty much any type of motion. So with that, we'll be able to have football, baseball, soccer, basketball, zombie dodgeball, lacrosse.
Zombie dodgeball.
Yeah.
I think that's up Mike's alley.
Wait, why zombie dodgeball for me?
Oh, I don't know.
You prefer the zombies get you, Mike?
No.
So yeah,
Yeah, see, exactly. That's why it's for you.
But we'll have everything for everyone there, not just for Mike.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting.
And yeah, it's just down the road from Beach Bowl, so you could choose. You'll have basically any activity to choose from on Beach Boulevard, whether it be go-karting at Adventure Landing, mini golf there, batting
Get some
cages,
tacos,
arcade.
get some
Yeah.
subs,
Then you go
get all
bowling,
kinds of
whatever,
things. Yeah, get
golfing.
some donuts from Mini Bar. The area it's really starting to come to be, and I'm really excited to see what it's got in the future.
Yeah, I mean, we got some things in the works at Coastal, like I mentioned with the monitors and stuff. But we're gonna need more space, so that's something that we're looking at, and we could be getting some more renovations and such, new looks here soon. So
That would be awesome. Everything we do enjoy Coastal being our unofficial sponsor of the podcast.
I didn't even realize you named the bedroom.
the office. It's the office. It's our studio, man. This is where we record.
We need to get a big corporate sign then, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely got to get some signage.
I can
in
get
here.
a sign for us and put up.
All right, I'll hold you to that. We're going to go with one last thing before we take off for the evening. Do want to leave Mike out of one more conversation. This is going to be about the Daytona 500, something he doesn't care anything about.
Vroom, vroom.
No comment from Mike, yeah.
Who was your early pick to win the Daytona 500?
My early pick? Oh, man. I mean, it's hard to pick against Denny just because he's been so good, but I can't pick Denny because I hate Denny. I'm going to go with Kevin Harvick just because.
It's going to be either Denny, Harvick, or one of the Bush, or maybe even
cars, maybe?
Or maybe Elliott. Elliott.
Everyone says this is Alex Bowman's year. I'm sorry if I'm going over a lot of your all's head. You can probably tune out now if you want, but
that's why we saved this for last. It's the final lap.
Yeah, the final lap. There'll be some little NASCAR music in the background.
It's crazy. We got Super Bowl this weekend, and then we got another Super Bowl the weekend after.
Absolutely, you, me, and probably 8 other people. Maybe
there's a ton of NASCAR fans.
There's probably like 3 or 4 that listen to this podcast that will watch.
Okay,
that'll actually be interested.
Yeah, I mean, I might not even watch because it's so different. I wish they would do the 500 without stages. At least.
I agree. Yeah, go back to the old format. That'd be nice.
But it'll be fun to watch.
We don't want to leave Mike hanging too much longer. I know
he's gonna fall
asleep. He's about to die.
And
he's clicking on something.
Prediction right now.
Mike's prediction. All right, who's he gonna pick to win the race?
Let me see. Let's see.
1 through 40. Who's it gonna be?
Let's go with. No, I'm going to go with a random name here.
Dale Earnhardt Sr.
I'm going to go with Anthony Alfredo. Is he racing? I don't know.
That doesn't even sound real to me.
So Anthony Alfredo is a nationwide driver who's actually, or nationwide, whatever.
Nationwide is on your side.
He's been a second level driver. He's actually decent. He actually made a big name for himself in the iRacing series because he actually was pretty good at that. But this is, I think, his rookie season now, and he's going to be with Front Row Motorsports, who doesn't really like.
Hey, what a way to start your rookie season! Win the Daytona 500. And be part of history.
And Daytona 500 is one of those races that's completely random. I mean, we saw Trevor Bayne win it, who probably would never. Actually, he never won again. He wasn't very good.
Didn't he win it twice? Did he not win it twice?
I think he won a Clash or something like that. But I mean, you have some of these guys that win it that you're like, really? Or they're up there at the end. It's like you see names like Chris Buescher and Tyler Reddick and some Chase Briscoe. Maybe some of these guys that wouldn't be like running at Kansas or Bristol or stuff like that are going to be really high, but it's good to see them in Daytona because there's always the big one, and if you avoid that, and that's the key.
It's pedal to the metal too for most parts, but you find a draft partner, you dance with them, and then you dodge at the end.
And here's my second choice: William Byron. I don't know any of these people, so I'm picking randoms here.
That's a solid choice. William Byron is a good driver. He's with Hendrick, so obviously Hendrick's one of the top teams.
So I don't even know who's on Hendrick's team anymore. Besides, is it Chase and Alex Bowman, and then
William Byron and Kyle Larson. Remember, they just signed him. He's in the 5 car.
Okay. No,
the racial slur.
Car.
The racial slur, Kyle Larson. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be an interesting season. I mean, there's not many new faces. Obviously, the big one being Bubba Wallace in the 23, which is the first time the 23 has been driven in a long time. I mean,
a lot of young people. It's a lot of new faces that.
I mean, Chip Ganassi is, with Larson gone, it's Ross Chastain now. I mean, that's another young face. Michael McDowell and Anthony Alfredo for Front Row. Mike, we're finishing up really soon here. Christopher Bell is now on the 20 for Joe Gibbs because Eric Jones went to Petty Motorsports to take over the 43 since. I'm gonna
go with Bubba this year.
I would love to see Bubba.
Yeah,
I like Bubba.
Jordan
I just hate that
rider.
It's freaking Denny Hamlin owning the team. Man, it just makes me mad.
Do you see that Domino's commercial? Hey,
Denny,
I hate
that commercial. Oh my God, Skylar, you were naming everything that I hate. That commercial. I was watching. I don't know. I was watching something. This is what we're gonna end on. I was watching TV the other day, and that commercial came on every single commercial break.
Oh,
hey,
God.
Hamlin.
Yeah.
Nice PJs.
Were you streaming something?
YouTube TV is
so
it's just always going to be the same commercial.
Yeah.
But it's still like regular TV too, because you still have the regular commercials, local commercials, stuff like that. Okay. But it's just like it's really annoying when you get the same thing over and over. I'm going to pick Mac DiBenedetto for my winner though, just because that's my boy. Matty D. Last year for Wood Brothers. Let's see if he can make a name for himself. Get that dub.
If you just say his name like over and over, like really fast, it's almost like it sounds like a car going.
Well, that'll do it today for Dimes on Duval. For Skylar Chase, Mike Yashi, and myself, Keith Manzi. Thank you all for listening.